Well, welcome to our week on systems thinking. We've got a real special treat for you this week. We're going to be joined by Dr. Jim Barrett, a horticulture professor here at the University of Florida on the main campus. And we're going to be illustrating a real simple, broad example, an analogy, if you will, when we talk about systems thinking. Think about a greenhouse as being a system, and the environment within and outside of that greenhouse being subsystems. We're going to illustrate three types this week: open systems, then sub-open systems, and then closed systems. So for instance, when we're inside of a greenhouse, think about some of the things that are inside of a greenhouse, like plants, as being different departments within an organization. If this greenhouse is an organization for us, this might be the human resources department, and this might be the accounting department. Each need different things, each function off of different things within and outside of their own environment. Outside of the organization and inside of the organization, things influence how these two departments work. And so think about this greenhouse and these plants as organizations and departments as you watch this video with Dr. Barrett. I think you're really going to enjoy it.
Here we are standing in the Environmental Horticulture's trial gardens for bedding plants. These are plants that are being evaluated to see how well they perform in Florida. This is an open system. We do not control the light, rain, we don't control any of the factors affecting the plants, temperatures, and so the plants are growing in a very open type setting. I'm going to talk about irrigation methods within the different systems as examples of open and closed systems. Here outside, this is open. When it rains or when it's dry, that's what the plants get. However, we do provide a little bit of control because we have the capability of adding supplemental water, irrigation. And here are drip tubes that are commonly used for delivering water in small amounts directly to the plants when irrigation is not adequate. Now we're inside of a greenhouse. We have the same type of bedding plants that are used in flower gardens, except we're in a semi-controlled system. We're controlling the environment that the plant is growing in terms of fertilizer and water, and in the greenhouse we also control temperature to some degree. Currently, the sides of the greenhouse are open. There's natural airflow in the side and out the roof. That flow is semi-controlled. We can only open the greenhouse so much. It's not like an environment inside of a home where you can use air conditioning. At night, we close the sides of the greenhouse, turn on the heaters, the computer does that, and it's a controlled airflow inside the greenhouse where the temperature is controlled. Another example, following from what we had in the gardens where rain was an open system, here we can control irrigation. And this is a water hose that we can use to irrigate the plants. This is a semi-controlled system. The water flows from the well through the hose out onto the plant and then runs out. And so we are controlling it. We can control how often we water, we can control the fertilizer that's in the water, but it is not a closed system, which we will illustrate next. This is an example of a closed system. Irrigation in this case is called sub-irrigation. The plants are sitting on the bench that holds water. The water is held in a tank below the bench. When it is time to irrigate the plants, the water is pumped up onto the bench, floods them so they're irrigated from below. And then after about 10 minutes, the water runs back through the drain into the tank and is contained there until it is time to irrigate again. So the water is in a closed loop. So this is a closed system from the standpoint of irrigation. We control how much water the plants get, the fertilizer, how often, and the water does not leave the system. It does not run out of the greenhouse.